everyone, welcome. Welcome to my Pierce the Heart lessons from my home studio. I'm so glad you could join me tonight. I thought tonight I would teach you how to draw this mallard family. Hopefully we'll have enough time to get through all three. We have a drake, a female, and a duckling. Ducks have been a big part of my life since I was a little girl. Outings to the duck pond were always a big favorite. My first book was Angus and the Ducks, and our family always loved Make Way for Ducklings. Additionally, my dad was a decoy carver, and we have one of his carvings here. This is a female mallard that he carved for me, and she's going to be joining us for our lesson. I like to start with duck subjects when I'm doing beginner drawing lessons because they have very large, easy shapes and forms for people to draw, and we can get a pretty successful result right away. And it's also a very fun and easy subject for young people. It can go as far as an advanced drawing for those who would like to learn more about the feathers and the complications of all of that. Okay, so let's get started. What I always have people do when we begin to draw is we draw some ovals. And I'm going to draw very dark right now, but you will draw very lightly at your home. Oh, I forgot to mention, all you'll need is a pencil and a piece of paper tonight. Okay, so we're going to look at our subject and think about our forms, our size, our location, and our direction. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's pretty easy. So follow me. Ready? I'm going to draw loosely with my pencil like this, not holding it like you were writing. This helps us to be free and loose. So I'm going to draw a large oval right here. And again, I'm drawing very dark, but you would draw this lighter on your paper. And it's almost like an egg, isn't it? Okay. So that's what I'm thinking about here. I'm going to add a triangle here. Pretty much everything is made of simple shapes. And when we break things down to simple shapes and put them all together, we create our subject. Okay, I want to think about the neck. So right here I have the oval. Now the neck's not coming up over here. It's a little further in. So I'm going to do an oval a little further in. Get my pencil right. Again, you're doing this lightly. A circle for the head. And I'm going to do an oval for the bill. And I'm going to look at my subject and see how close to the back does that bill go and how far away from the neck. And this is called the negative space. So you kind of want the same shape of your negative space. Alrighty, I'm going to travel down. So I want to find the location of my legs. Let's put in the eye loosely right now. Oh, I have to draw a little darker. I'm holding my pencil like a writing utensil now. I'm going to drop a line down. That's my location of my first leg. I'm going to do an oval and then another oval there. Where's the location of the other leg? Let's travel up our egg here and look at our negative space, the distance from here to here. And let's put an oval here. And it's going up a little bit higher. And an oval for this foot. Now it doesn't have to be perfect or exact. Okay? This is just the beginning. Kind of looks like a cartoon character, doesn't it? Simple shapes. Okay, now we're going to get into the detail of the drawing and how to make it look realistic. I'm going to take away my dark drawing because it would take too long to erase these lines, and put up a new piece of paper that has my ovals in a softer lead and much lighter. Now we're going to talk about a contour drawing. A contour drawing is basically doing the outline of your subject. Again, I'm drawing rather dark. You will draw lightly in case you want to erase your lines. And it's okay not to erase some lines, because if you look at the works of the old masters, you can see in their working drawings they've left lines, and it makes for a more interesting piece. Alrighty, I'm going to get a sharper pencil here. Let us start up at the bill. I'm going to now connect those basic shapes with the outline. Now I think I'll start at the crown. So let's start up here, everyone. And we're going to go down and connect those shapes. But we're also going to think about where our line goes. So it dips a little bit, comes around to what's called the nail of the bill. And you know that the bill is a duck's bill, and it's not a beak. A bird has a beak and a duck has a bill. Let's come up. We're not thinking about details yet. We're just thinking about our outline. Down, and we're looking here, always looking at our subject, around. We can give a little indication of some feathers. Now we had our triangle here. This can get a little complicated. Don't think about this yet. We're going to stay in the outline. Down to the tail. Can do a little indication of some feathers, and around, which brings us to our leg. The leg has a little bit of a fullness here at the top, goes down to another bulbous area. It's good to make studies of the different parts of your subject. The feet are a little more complicated, but basically they're like triangles. So I'm going to do one here. First, one of the helpful things to do when you're doing the feet is to notice where the talons are. These are the talons, and it shows you where the foot ends. And these are bones that are kind of like triangles. So to simplify, I wanted to show you like that. And then you can put in the webbing. Let's go up to the underbelly. And while we're here, we can do the leg. There's a little bit of a talon there. And again, this one is a great example here that it is a nice long triangle shape. Again, the talons help you see where that foot ends. Add the webbing. And let's go back up to the breast. Around. It's okay if you haven't gotten this far. You can look back at it for the details of the feet. Up the neck, over to the crown. It's nice when your drawing isn't all one, when your lines aren't all one thickness. It's much more interesting. So don't worry if they're thick or thin. We're going to go up to the inside details now of our drake. I'm going to make a circle for the eye. And every time you make an animal drawing, I'd like you to do a circle and another circle inside, because that's your highlight and that will make your drawing look alive. And I'm going to add just a little bit of shading in there. Let's travel. Let's travel now down to the bill. Triangle, half circle, and down. Always thinking shapes, location, and again, don't worry if it's not perfect. There's plenty of time to practice. The nostril. He's really beginning to take shape. Now we're going to tackle the inside feathers. They can be very, very complex, so I've simplified some of the groupings for us. Also, he's in a turned position, so he's a little more difficult, but I know you can do it. Let's take a look at this line. I'm going to go down from the neck and around. There's a big grouping of feathers here. Little one here. Little one here. And a large area here. Bring this line to here, and there's a little half crescent moon shape to there. Ah, the neck. So that's our basic little line there for the underbelly. So that's our basic drake. This is the male. And let's go on to the female. A female mallard is often called a hen, or a nickname for the female is Susie. And that's the name of my older sister. So that's fun. Okay. These pieces are, the drawings I had here are studies. And they're studies for painting I'm going to make, which I want to tell you about. I'll be showing you it in the future, but I wanted to tell you about the story now, as I do our large shapes. So follow along with the shapes and listen to the story. I drive down a road that has a stream on either side, and the ducks cross there. And I love to watch them, especially because there seems to be one pair of a male and a female who make me laugh every day. Most of the drakes, and they always do this, most of the drakes walk into the middle of the road, they look to the side of the road where the female is, and they talk. And they might talk once or twice, and the female comes, and they both cross the road. And there is one pair, and I think it's the same guy. He tells the female it's okay to cross. He's in the middle of the road, and we're watching him. And she will not budge for the longest time. And you just see him looking. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to make a painting of it. So there are studies that we do when we're going to make a larger piece of work. Okay, back to our female. This is a female who never listens. So again, our oval like an egg. Let's do a triangle for the back area. Where is her neck? Okay, so about here on your oval, right? Here's your oval. We're going to go back a little bit. Make an oval for her head, for her neck. A circle for her head. And an oval for her bill. Where are the legs? Let's travel down our oval. We can also find them in relation to her neck. Right? Drop a line, go across, and let's do our oval for our leg here. A little bit for the back leg, and an oval for the feet. Alrighty. Remember, you're drawing very lightly. I'm drawing dark so you can see on the camera. I'm going to switch to my other paper. I was very fortunate to paint some of the ducks my dad carved as well throughout my life. We're a big duck family. Okay, so I have my drawing here of my lighter forms that we just drew. So now, what are we going to talk about next? Contour, the outline. Correct. I'm going to start at the crown again and go down. I'm going to connect my shapes around. She's a little easier to draw. She's kind of like a football in a way. And we want to look at the uneven parts. We don't have to get them perfect, because the plumage could be in any kind of state that day. So do not be hard on yourself. Okay, right, we're doing our contour. We're down to our legs. I'm going to add this now. It's just a little bit of a plumage here where this leg departs. It's a little rounder at the top than at the bottom. There's a little bit of the back legs showing. And again, we want to think triangles and the bones of the feet, then the webbing. So we can go, and of course the talons we want to see. So I want to see, okay, that ends there. I'm going to add 3 talons and 3 lines. Her foot is closed, so we really don't see much webbing. Up around our oval, and let's join it to the oval that made up our neck. Watch your curves, and up. I'm going to go back up to the top. Now I'm going to be more conscious of the bill and the details of the bill. We're going to put the nail there, the bottom of the bill, and we have our outline. Let's go in and do some details now. Curve, like a moon there, and another curve. A line down. It almost looks like she's smiling. Her nostril. Let's go up to the eye, leaving a little circle for that highlight. And this is a good thing to put in right now for our Susie. Okay, there's some basic inside shapes of the feathers. And again, if this can be as complicated or as simple as you like. I like to go from the neck down and capture this main group of feathers that she has. There's usually an oval here of feathers. And don't worry if you're not getting all this right away. It takes time and practice and studying ducks. And I think that's good for our female. Lastly, we want to do our duckling. Ducklings are very easy to do because they're mostly just a ball of fluff. And they're a very good subject for young children because they can be very successful. Very simple shapes, and it's a good thing to do. A good thing to do with the ducklings is to help the young children make this form, make the shapes, and give them watercolors because the fluff is so watercolors lend itself so well to the fluff, and it can get messy. The paint can mix together, and it looks like a chicken. It's very, very good subject for the kids. Okay, so this is a little simpler. We're going to do an oval for the body, and he's a little angled. Triangle for the tail, oval for the head. Circle for the head, sorry. Triangle for the bill. And the baby, it's a little shorter. Ducklings are a good subject for advanced drawers as well because they have very, very developed legs and feet, and they're really cool to draw. Okay, so we're going to find our location of our feet. An oval for the leg. Now we can talk about direction. What direction is that leg going in? It's going this way. And what's that negative space there? Boop, boop. Draw that negative space. Draw that shape of that negative space. Oval for the back foot and the oval for the front foot. Okay? I'm sure you're getting the idea now. This is how I begin all my very complex horse drawings. I love to do horses, they're my specialty. And even still lives, people, this is how we always begin. Alrighty, little duckling, I almost said chickie. Alright, duckling. What's fun about the duckling is you can use your pencil. It's a fast drawing. You can do the tail. Because they're so fluffy, you can have a lot of fun with this. There isn't much neck. There's always a great black part up here, which is not an uncommon haircut these days for men and boys. We're going to come down around. There isn't much neck, so I'm going to come down for the breast. And because we're running out of time, I'm going to lay in the eye quick. Remember your little circle for the highlight. This is characteristic of mallards, so we usually want to put that in. We're going to be careful with the bill. It's kind of complicated. But again, just look at lots of pictures and practice. And draw what you see. But don't forget the little nail at the end. That's how they get their food when they're foraging. Line, line. And again, we're thinking triangles and bones. The leg comes up into the body at this forward leg. A little bit of a curve here. Down, little bump. The foot is flat here. We can't really see all the foot, but again, I'm going to find my location with my talons. And there we go. You can see why this would be a very good lesson for the young ones. But I have a ball with the ducklings. Love to watch them in the spring as well. The neck. Alrighty, well, I could continue forever drawing. But I hope that you enjoyed this lesson, and I'm so glad you joined me. I hope you'll share your work with me. I'd love to see it. And if you have any questions, be sure to put them in the comments below, and I'll be really happy to answer them a little later on. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time.